First and foremost, I'd like to thank Department of Physics, Namche Government College and Sikkim University for providing me this platform to make a video on the topic light emitting diodes. This topic is provided by our beloved teacher Dr. C.P. Khatioda for the partial fulfillment of seasonal B examination of BSc 3rd semester June to December. This video carries 25 marks. And my name is Bhumika Baun Sharma and roll number is 19NS0132 and my topic given is light emitting diodes. So today LEDs are being used in every electronic devices, as we all know that. In many electronic devices, by some or the other way, these LEDs are commonly being used. For example, LEDs are commonly used in the smartphone display as well as in the camera flashlights. Similarly, LED TVs are quite common in today's world. Every house has that LED TV now. And if we talk about lighting, LEDs are used for the lighting for houses and streets lights, and also in decoration. And decoration, that's quite common. We all know that that decorative lights are LEDs. And not only that, today from traffic signals that we see, that traffic signals, there are also LEDs and display boards, and also in that remote, TV remote, AC remotes, we see that LED. And we can give many more examples like this. So what actually LED is and how does it work? Let us know that. So LED, light emitting diode. A light emitting diode is an optical semiconductor device that emits light when voltage is applied. So we all know what diode is, and light emitting diode is a optical semiconductor device, and when we apply voltage to that, it emits energy. It releases energy in the form of light. And also, in other words, we can say that LED is an optical semiconductor device that converts electrical energy into the light energy. Why electrical energy into the light energy? Because as we have mentioned that it emits that light when voltage is applied, right? So when that voltage is electrical energy and the light emitted is light energy. So here is the diagram, and this arrows emission of light. So when the voltage is applied, light emits. Now let's see so here the construction of LED. So now for the construction of the LED, we need a PN junction here. So we all know that PN junction is a diode which has got construction such that this energy gap is larger than 1.8 electron volts. We are familiar with it. So here for the construction of LED, only that semiconductor or PN junction which has energy gap larger than 1.8 energy volts can only be used. So, and we know that in this PN junction, in P type the holes are the minority charge carrier, and in N type the electrons are the majority charge carrier, not minority, that's majority. So here, and how does this LED works? Let us know that. Here I have mentioned that LED works only in the forward biased condition. The main point is LED works only in the forward biased condition. So here I have mentioned this is forward biased, current flows in this direction. Now, when it is forward biased, when the voltage is applied in this junction, then the holes on the p sides start moving at the n side, and the electrons on the n side starts moving at the p side, and this recombines with each other. Here this moves here, this goes there, and it recombines with each other, and during recombination it releases energy in the form of light. So it can be further explained using energy band diagram. So here, this is the energy band diagram. So here we can see this, the free electrons here. The free electrons in the conduction band have more energy than the electron which are still in the valence orbit, and the free electrons in the conduction band and the holes or the empty space are left by the electrons are still in the valence band here. So whenever the electrons and the holes recombines, whenever these two recombines, the electrons from the conduction band comes into the valence band. Here we can see that this electrons comes down and recombines here. So it comes from the higher energy level to the lower energy level. As we know, whenever an electron jumps from higher energy level to lower energy level, it releases energy in some form. It releases energy. So here in the case of LED, it releases energy in the form of photons, or we can say in the form of light. So here, why the energy is in the form of light? So here we can say that in this fabrication of LED, different semiconductor compounds like gallium arsenides and gallium phosphides are used. So, and in this type of semiconductor compounds, during the recombination, the energy is released in the form of photons, and as the energy of the emitted photon is equal to the band gap. That means the energy different between this conduction band and the valence band is the energy released. So, and usually this band gap is represented here. The energy emitted is the difference between this conduction band and the valence band, which is usually represented by electron volts. Represented by electron volts. Electron volts. So, if Eg is representing the band gap, then energy of the photon can be given as H c by lambda, where H is Planck's constant. C is the speed of light, and this lambda represents wavelength of the emitted light. have mentioned that this energy in the band gap, the energy in the form of light emitted, that energy we can calculate it by this formula. Energy equals to h mu hc by lambda. This is lambda, not mu, lambda. And we know that h is Planck's constant, c is speed of light, LHGH the light, and lambda is the wavelength of that particular light emitted. So here this is the list of different semiconductor compounds which are used to generate the colors of light, different colors of light. So here, as we can see, when the wavelength is less than 760 nanometer and the voltage drop is greater than 1.9 electron volts, then the infrared is emitted. This infrared is not a visible light, and infrared can be emitted by that LED which are used in remote. That light we cannot see, but that is sensible. So this infrared can be emitted by this semiconductor material, gallium arsenide, aluminium gallium arsenide. So for red, wavelength should be 610 to 760 nanometer, and the voltage drop should be 1.6 to 2.0. And that semiconductor materials used are aluminium gallium arsenide phosphide, gallium phosphide, and so on. For the different colors we need different voltage drop and that different semiconductor material. So here are the list of different semiconductors compound which are used to generate the colors of light, different colors of light. So for infrared, the wavelength should be smaller than 760 nanometer and the voltage drop will be greater than 1.9 electron volts. And the semiconductor material used is gallium arsenide, aluminium gallium arsenide. So similarly for red, wavelength should be from 610 to 760 nanometer and the voltage drop is 1.6 to 2.0. Aluminium gallium arsenide phosphide, gallium phosphide are the semiconductor material used. So similarly here so this is the VI characteristics of LED. As we can see here, as we move from the infrared towards the blue light, the forward voltage drop of the diode will increase, as I have already mentioned in that chart also. So here it is graphically represented. So as we saw that LEDs work only in the forward bias condition, and why not in reverse bias condition? Let us see that. So here if you see the graph of reverse bias condition, initially the current is constant and suddenly it increases in the high amount, and this particular amount which it increases rapidly, we call it a breakdown voltage. breakdown voltage. We can say that in reverse bias, till the breakdown voltage, the current is constant and it increases rapidly with a very large amount. So as it cannot bear the sudden increment in the current, and it is said to be fused. So here, due to the breakdown voltage, we cannot use LED. We cannot construct LED in for reversed biased mode. So here, this is all about LED.